Hello, everybody. How's it going out there? Tobin here with you. Thanks for checking us on out. Much appreciated. Got a new Porpoise pod out right now. Would appreciate you guys checking out the full Week 1 recap that I did with my boy Alejandro Solana. And, of course, we'll have more shenanigans to come your way all week long with Tobin and Leroy. So check that on out. YouTube.com/TheTicketMiami for Tobin and Leroy. And for Porpoise Pod, I will put a link in the description. If you guys could check that out, it mean the world to me. Really would mean the world to me. So did some initial reaction here right after the win, literally like right as the game, closed out. Walked on over to the camera, flip it on. Let's talk about what we saw, all that great stuff. Best thing from the post game from yesterday, the thing that I love the most was the post game speech. I mean, it was Goosies galore. Doesn't even go in the right realm to describe what that speech and getting Mike McDaniel the game ball. Goosies galore doesn't even do it justice, dude. It was like Goosies galore. Like, that's what that was, okay? Chris Greer, on behalf of Mr. Ross, gives him the game ball. Mike McDaniel, he tells the players that he didn't do shit. Some player was a wise ass in the background, and it was just like, that's right. And you could just see that he's overcome with emotion, just like it really hits him. And I think the thing that's cool about Mike McDaniel, and the reason that I think a lot of people vibe with him from the get-go, one is that seems like a real dude. All of his players that you hear talk about him during training camp, mini camp, OTAs, they all just talk about what a great man the guy is, and that they just seem to just get the idea that a guy is a good person genuinely. You watch during the game, and not only does the guy just got pristine command of the sideline, and I could tell it right away, dude. We all saw Philbin. He'd sit there with that mouth open. Who had faith with this guy? Tony Sperano, rest in peace, doing fist pumps for field goals. That's a little wacky. You had Adam Gase. He'd go off into his own little hiding spot, writing his secret little plans like he was the water boy coach, with his little notebook trying to come up with some genius idea that was inevitably going to fail. But Mike McDaniel, cool as it goes. I will say Flores did have good sideline demeanor, and he would kick your ass, and he would fight a referee. I did like Brian Flores on the sidelines. Apparently we just didn't like Brian Flores behind the scenes with the way that he backed some of his players, specifically his quarterback. But Mike McDaniel got it all, because even in this speech as it's going on, and does the great move, he gets the ball, okay, and he says, I got this, but I'm giving all you game balls. That's a great way to go. Mario Cristobal did that same thing, by the way, where he got the game ball for his win over Bethune-Cookman, and he gave game balls to everybody. But a little bit of a difference in beating Bethune-Cookman. All respect, Coach Cristobal. A little bit of a difference between that and beating the Patriots with their overlord, evil coach, who is a rabid cheater and now washed. I mean, let's be honest with it. What was this from Bill Belichick? You're coming out here. You're going on an extra vacation for 5 days. This is clearly a shook man who, for whatever reason, doesn't seem to know how to win in this state or this city. And it's very clearly because, I don't know, the Dolphins just seem to own you down here. Since 2013, this has been a thing. Even back to Jason Taylor. Jason Taylor would give this guy a hard time and a handful down here. This unfortunate for the Dolphins. This guy just having a win when it mattered in every other place. But down here, it clearly befuddles him. And it's going to be a lot of befuddling, it seems like, for that Patriots team with everything they're going through. Although you have to love the idea that this Adam Archuleta, who was just given every excuse under the sun for Mac Jones. Oh, he's got 100 coordinators. Who's calling the plays? This offense looks like a disaster. This, that, and the other. I would never hear this last year for Tua Tagovailoa. But for Mike McDaniel to get that ball, and he's just like, just remember this is the start. We're going to remember this. I was like, oh. The Goosies got roast, dude. Like, unbelievable. Unbelievable Goosies. Him getting the Gatorade bath from Christian Wilkins and the crew. And I like the Gatorade bath that's like with the bottles. Anybody could do a cooler. That's safe for real special occasions. But still, the Gatorade bath for his first win. And I don't know what it is. It just feels like the entire thing was just such an interesting journey this offseason with, Brian Flores getting fired, the lawsuit, this individual getting the head coaching job, everybody kind of learning of this unique, quirky personality that he's got, everybody being excited about how he's going to unleash this offense. I think we saw an offense that we saw the potential of it today, right? Like we saw the potential of it in week 1 from the standpoint of you saw the yak, you saw that all over the place. You saw them put his receivers in motion. You saw the gimmicks, you saw the reverses. You saw all of these different ways that they were going to try and free up their playmakers. And so while all this attention goes to Tua Tagovailoa, and, by all accounts, I thought Tua played a good game, didn't knock your socks off by any means. But I think that the thing that's great about it is they seem to really handle the Patriots day one of an offense. And you really, I think, saw the roots and the potential of what could be there, because everyone's going to be looking at this, and there's going to be a lot of national narrative that says, oof, look at Tyreek Hill. He did 8 catches for 94 yards, 12 targets. Congratulations on your all-time accurate quarterback. And meanwhile, you're going to look at Patrick Mahomes, who's putting up 5 touchdowns and a gazillion yards against a terrible Cardinals defense. But the thing that has me realized, first of all, no one in this stratosphere ever said that Tua Tagovailoa is better than Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Everybody knows it. People got all their feathers in a ruffle because of the accuracy comment. But again, this is Tyreek Hill. The whole point of this has been you have a quarterback whose confidence had been broken down. You got a receiver who's here and a new coach who's here. They want to uplift their quarterback. They want to put him in a positive light. And while it wasn't the greatest game, you guys remember this is the first time this offense has played together in something that actually matters between, Jalen Waddle being out for the last 3 weeks. Most of these running backs not getting any real reps in the preseason. Tyreek Hill only taking 2 real reps in the preseason. And all that being said, in real competition, still looked like a pretty well-handled win by the end of it. And I am excited to see what this coach can do. And I think you have to be excited by they're going to be learning this along the way. But Mike McDaniel said a great thing afterwards where he said to the offense, he says, this is still the defense's team. And so while we are giving Mike McDaniel his praise and all the celebration, and everybody's very excited about what he's able to bring to the table from that standpoint, he does make it known, like, look, the elite on this team still belongs to the defense. That is what is special about this team. What's special about that defense, and has been for years, is the ability to go take the football away. But even still, Mike McDaniel getting that game ball, giving to all the players, having Tua do the breakdown, chef's kiss. Guy's been amazing. And what a turn of events it has been since the end of last offseason, which, by the way, I don't know if this is legit or not. There's video apparently of Stephen Ross at the game from NFL Twitter or NFL Reddit, excuse me. And it says, isn't Stephen Ross supposed to be banned from attending games? Ross was in his usual spot in the box, unlike the 50. And it is a video of Stephen Ross during the national anthem. And it looks like Stephen Ross. It looks like Stephen Ross. I think it's this game. It feels like a weird thing for somebody to set Stephen Ross up on. Now, it says, Mr. Ross suspended through October 2022. During this period, he may not be present at the Dolphins facility. He may not represent the club at any team, game, or NFL event. He may not attend any league meeting. Does that include games? It's kind of a wishy situation there because technically that's not the team facility. Although it is their stadium. Their facility is technically over down the block. So I don't know, but there is video of him seemingly at the game, and I don't know if anything really distinguishes that it's him that did not go to him during the game. Nah, that's definitely him because they have the 9/11 thing for the flag out there and all that type of stuff. So, no, that definitely looks like it was today's game. That's funny, man. Well, listen, he did say he was innocent. He was like, listen, I'm glad that the league has found my, me to be clear of my case. Cleared. No charges here at all. But he wasn't there because I believe Chris Greer, when he gave the ball to Mike McDaniel, he said on behalf of Stephen Ross. Otherwise, I think Stephen Ross would have been in the locker room to give him the ball. So maybe he was doing something sneaky. I don't know. Whatever. Who cares? What is that punishment? First of all, the punishment anyway is ridiculous because Tom Brady has yet to answer for his crimes. All right, he's still out there playing football even though he was tampering. Second of all, the Dolphins had a first-round pick taken away. Let Stephen Ross go to his games. Bastards. But, man, the best out of it was Mike McDaniel, dude. Wheelbarrow. That was the great quote that came out of this one from Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill said after the game that he's going to need a wheelbarrow around to support his nuts because of his fourth down call, which is just, I mean, dude, that was just a tremendous way to celebrate and get that from Tyreek Hill and everything that he had to say. He was just like, yeah, he's going to need a wheelbarrow for those nuts, which he would. Little South Park style, dude. Wheeling them around. Big old grapefruits. Big old cantaloupes. Whatever produce section you want to say for Mike McDaniel, he had it all going on. And a fun first win. And an interesting second game to go into with, Lamar Jackson, Baltimore, that Thursday night game last year. Always an interesting matchup when it's Dolphins-Ravens. Typically a team that's had the Dolphins number that got him last year. And certainly with Lamar Jackson liking himself in a Dolphins uniform, being from down here, that's an interesting one as well. He lit up the Jets with some big plays in week one. Arguably not a lot of better matchups than this week one either, especially with Dak Prescott going down. A lot of people were probably looking in on, Bengals and Cowboys, but that's a fun week one matchup. I think a lot of people will be paying attention to the one this weekend. I think that this Dolphins offense and this Dolphins team really has given everybody a lot to look forward to after this week one win over those bum-ass Patriots.